What's up guys, welcome back to another video of Island Gaming with G. And I've been hearing a lot of armchair analysts and a lot of armchair lawyers give their input about the Activision Blizzard merger. And also more recently, seeing that the CMA and some of the regulators gave remedies and concessions that they would like Microsoft to follow. But let's hear an actual lawyer and an actual analyst give his input as why he is 98% sure that this deal is going to pass. So let's get right into it. Don't forget to like the video and subscribe. Let's go.
A long time, Michael, and you've always liked to take a contrarian view.
Correct the term you use. I don't take a contrarian view, I take a correct view. And it's not my fault that there are so many people who are out to lunch and don't understand how the law works. All right, so keep in mind that this deal is more than a year old. It was announced on January 17th, 2022. And so here we are on February 8th. What took a year for the UK to say, wow, it would really upset us, Microsoft, if you buy Activision and pull Call of Duty off of PlayStation. I mean, we knew that the first day.
Pause. So what Michael is saying here is that the UK regulators took very long to respond to this deal, something that the average man knew was a possibility would happen if Microsoft was to buy Activision Blizzard. I mean, a watchdog not supposed to respond a year later. A watchdog should respond as soon as they see something is wrong. Let's continue.
And so to answer your question specifically, what's the political import? Here's what's really going on. You've got three regulatory bodies that are still reviewing the deal. The EU Competition Commission, the UK Competition and Markets Authority, and the United States Federal Trade Commission. Each of them is charged under really similar legal structures with protecting consumers from unfair competition. That's what it really comes down to. So the term of art in the UK is a substantial lessening of competition. Obviously, when you have a merger and you consolidate two big parties, there's the potential that by consolidating the power, they'll raise price and consumers will miss out, or they'll lessen quality and consumers will lose. So that's what all three agencies are looking at.
So Michael broke it down simple there for us. The purpose of the three companies is to protect the consumers, and the CMA and all these regulatory bodies, they are afraid that Microsoft would either lessen the quality of Activision games or hike up prices. So they are worried about that. Let's continue.
Fortunately for Microsoft, they have no intention of ceasing to support PlayStation. And they've said it repeatedly. They've offered to extend their existing contract for 10 years. They've offered to add Nintendo to the contract, and they're not a party right now. They've offered to add Steam, which is a PC distribution service, to the contract, and they're not a party right now.
So you all heard what Michael just said? He's saying that Xbox have a strong case. Because they knew that this would be a problem for the CMA and the regulators, they went ahead and they offered, companies that don't have Call of Duty right now, which is Nintendo and Steam, that they would bring Call of Duty to that system, those services. Because if the CMA is worrying that Microsoft would take away Call of Duty from their service or their platform, Microsoft has went on record to say no. We are not only giving it to you guys, but we are giving it to other parties. So right now, Microsoft's argument is looking very strong.
They're really bending over backwards trying to say, don't worry, we'll continue to maintain the status quo. And so what really happened is that the EU has been the most sane of the three agencies. And the EU has pretty consistently said, we think we can reach an accommodation. And what happened was that the FTC, led by, I believe she's 33-year-old Lena Khan. Lena Khan's been a lawyer for about half as long as I've been a video game analyst and a quarter of the time that I've been a lawyer. But Lena Khan, who knows better than all of us, that led her to realize, oh my God, somebody's going to settle. We better settle first. So in December, she filed suit.
Yeah, so Michael is basically saying here that Lena Khan, who is the head of the FTC, she is trying to make a name for herself because, she wants to look like she's fighting big tech. So when she heard that the EU might settle, she wanted to settle first to say that they did it first. They attacked big tech, so that will be basically a feather in her cap. So it's not about only protecting consumers, but this entire deal is also going to make a name for some of these regulators.
Now, the market reacted negatively. Oh, if the FTC sues, Microsoft must be a loser. No. The lawsuit is a mechanism, a device to force Microsoft to the bargaining table. So the FTC thought in December, if we sue, Microsoft will come in here, agree with us, agree to a whole bunch of concessions, and then we can run a victory lap. Look at us, we made big tech back down.
So Michael is really making some of these guys who knows nothing about deals like this look very bad, because they have been saying that seeing that the FTC is suing Microsoft, that's it looks bad for Microsoft that the FTC is suing them. Look, Michael just said it there, that the purpose of the FTC suing Microsoft is to bring Microsoft to the bargaining table. They know that if they do that, Microsoft would come in and make some deals, some concessions, so that it may seem that the FTC have some sort of power over Microsoft. This lawsuit or that lawsuit, that is exactly what it did. All this is to get the public perception that the FTC is fighting big tech. But we know what is really behind this. Is to see who will be able to take credit for making Microsoft make changes to their original offers.
We extracted the concessions, we protected the consumer. So what happened? 5 weeks later, the UK said, hold my beer, we're going to do the same thing. So they put out not only an intention to block the merger today, but a list of proposed remedies, because the FTC hasn't done that yet. So the UK said, hold my beer, we got ahead of you, and I don't even know if Lena Khan's old enough to drink beer, but we got ahead of you. We now have remedies. So we're going to reach an agreement with Microsoft before you do. And so I expect that you're going to get the EU to step right in the next couple of weeks and say, wait a minute, we've got some remedies too. What's really going on here politically, to answer your question, is the three agencies all know they have a slam dunk loser in court.
So you all heard what he said there? The three companies know that they would lose in court. So who you all rather believe, an actual lawyer that is saying this, or these ponies who don't know anything about the law saying that Microsoft would lose if they go to court?
Gonna lose. And Microsoft is a big, deep-pocketed corporation that knows it has a slam dunk winner and is prepared to stick this out as long as it takes to beat these guys into submission. So rather than litigate, and by the way, the FTC just lost a high-profile case against Facebook, where once again, they were completely wrong, but it was a tiny deal. They're not going to lose this big one. They're going to win by extracting concessions with Microsoft. So I expect that the FTC will be back in the next 2 weeks. The EU is going to accelerate to the next 2 weeks. And guess what the UK did today? They set a date for all the proposed remedies to come back to them February 22nd, 2 weeks from today. So let's talk in 2 weeks, because Microsoft's going to reach an agreement with one or more of these guys. They're all jockeying for position. They're elbowing one another to be able to claim we're the ones that made big tech kowtow to us and claim victory. And gamers are going to get Activision content on Game Pass, which is what Microsoft wants. And Sony's not going to lose anything. They're going to continue to get Call of Duty on PlayStation. So
as you all heard, that the FTC would win, the UK regulators would win, and the EU regulators would win if they get Microsoft to concede with their concessions, some of their concessions. So that is what they are gunning for. Because of the big loss the FTC just had with Facebook, they will not let this opportunity pass by to get a win from Microsoft when it comes to this deal. A win for the FTC, just to reiterate, is Microsoft coming to the table and making some changes to their original deal and plans.
I think this deal happens.
Michael here. This deal was broke on January 17th, 22, right? And here you have a big action taken by the CMA. I come from a whole family of lawyers, and my wife's family of lawyers. How is it possible?
And I went to law school, so you didn't have to. So there you go.
How is it possible, or what are you seeing in the tea leaves that think that Microsoft is going to come up with a proposed remedy in only 2 weeks?
So guys, we'll stop it here for now. We'll have a part 2 uploaded shortly, but it's very good to hear an actual lawyer discuss this deal and not just listen to these ponies who think they know what they are saying. Alright, so we heard the last question the guy asked him there. How can Microsoft come up with concessions in just 2 weeks? We'll see what he responded in part 2 of this video. So if you like this video, don't forget to, you can hit me and subscribe. Like the video. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Later.